One, I talked about how you can use your daily routine, both in the morning and in the evening, to set your day up in a way that you are setting yourself up for success. You're setting yourself up for a focused day and not being pulled in a million different directions and burning out and then not getting anything done. So that's day one. Day two, we talked about the importance of creating wins in your life and setting up small wins, things that you know you can win at, in order to train your brain to succeed, in order to train your brain to win and to not give up and to not fail, because your mind gets used to that. The more things that we fail at or quit at, and failing is not a bad thing. I don't really mean fail, because if you're failing forward, which I talk about in that video, then everything is working out just beautifully because there's something to learn from it. But if you're quitting and you're quitting before you get to your goal, that is when you're training your body to accept, or training your brain and your spirit and your energy to accept giving up on yourself, and that becomes habitual. So creating small wins in your life and even in your day is really an important part, an important piece to creating a successful life and to getting results in your life. So that was video 2. Video 3 was about how you can stop fighting for your limitations, an automatic pilot of all the reasons why you can't do something, how to go from seeing the problem to creating the solution. Okay, that's on video 3, and that's super, super important. That is something I practice every day in my life. It's a big part of what I do with my clients, and I teach them how to begin fighting for their potential, for the possibilities, and how to see the solution in the problem. And then yesterday we talked about buying power, how you can use your buying power to create massive results in your life. And that is a really important video and an important topic that you can go back and see. And it has a profound impact how you choose to spend your money, how you decide to make your decisions with your money, has a huge impact on what kind of results you're experiencing in your life. What kind of buyer are you? Are you a discount buyer? Are you someone who's always looking for a break, for a deal, for the cheapest? That has a huge, huge impact on what you see around you in your life and the results that you're creating. So if you missed any of those videos, go back and watch it. Now, today for our 5th video in this series, our 5th training, we're going to talk about how to risk more so that you can get more. So, are you taking enough risks in your life? When is the last time that you've taken a risk in your life, and how big was it? When's the last time you did something scary? When's the last time you did something that could have cost you something? When's the last time you did something that you had no idea what the hell you were getting into, but you decided to trust the possibility that there was something on the other side? So when's the last time you took a big risk in your life? When's the last time you did something scary? Are you taking enough risks in your life? Because I can tell you, the more risks that you're taking in life, the more results you're getting, the more success you're having, the more personal growth you're having, the more business growth you're having. The more that you stay in your comfort zone, the less growth you're having. Okay? So you've heard it before, and it's been so true in my life, and I see it played out in the lives of my clients and people that I work with in group settings, and just in my circles. Everything that you want is on the other side of fear. Everything you've been waiting for, everything that you're wanting to create, it's on the other side of fear or risk. Once you have kind of mastered something, or once you have gotten to where you want with a certain thing in your life, it's no longer a risk, it's comfortable. And so you're no longer getting the value, you're no longer getting the growth out of that thing. And so there's always an opportunity to create that next level, to create another stretch, another place in your life that you get to step up and maybe be a bigger leader, maybe be a better parent, maybe be a better partner, maybe be a better coach for those of you who are coaches and watching. I'm always putting myself through trainings, not just for the sake of needing to get more, but not even just trainings, but putting myself around people and coaches who have greater success, who are making bigger impact on the world than I am, because I learn from them, right? I get to be in that energy. And there's a saying that if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? It's the same thing here. If you're in a super comfortable position in your life all of the time, you're in the wrong position, right? So when's the last time you felt like really kind of excited nerves about something? Like, when's the last time you really stretched yourself to put together something that you've never done before, or to, go on a job interview, or to, take a risk in your personal life? When is the last time you've had that feeling? The more times you have that feeling of that nervous excitement, which some people think is fear, but really it's excitement. The more times you're experiencing that in your life, I can tell you, those people who are experiencing that on a regular basis are really having exponential results and are having a big impact in the lives of others and are really enjoying their life. So I take risks all the time. And I'll tell you what, the more risks that you take, you get more comfortable with it. And you recognize that fear as nervousness and excitement, not as fear. It feels like fear when you've only done it once or twice, right? And then the more you've done it in life, you realize, ooh, that's the excitement of knowing that I'm doing something that really matters to me. If something doesn't matter to you, you have like no attachment to it, right? And it's not that you need to be attached, with like tension and fear and anxiety to the result. But if you're going to be doing something, it's like an athlete, before they go into competition, almost every athlete gets that kind of nervous excitement, right? And then as soon as they start, that normally melts away because they get in the zone. But if they don't have that in the beginning, most of the time it's because they don't really care one way or the other. So that's always an indication when you have that nervousness, that kind of excitement of like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen, kind of that feeling in your stomach, not like you're going to get sick, but that fluttery feeling. That's an indication that you're doing something with a little risk. You're doing something that's a little scary and exciting, and you actually care about it. You actually care about it. So that's a good sign. So I remember back when I was in corporate and my mom had just died suddenly. She was in a car accident. She was 45. I was 27, I believe. And it was just a shock, right? And I was in a job that I wasn't happy in. I was in a job that I wasn't fulfilled in. I was kind of being harassed by my boss. And then I just, I was in this state of, I took my couple of days off for the funeral. And then once I got back to work, it really hit me. And I needed a few more days off. And it was a big problem, right? And it was a big problem for my company. They didn't want me to take that time off. And it was the first time where I really realized, wow, I'm just kind of a number here, right? I'm just, there's no real empathy for me. And they're not giving me the space that I need right now. And I made a decision, a very scary decision at the time and a very risky decision. I looked around at my life and I said, okay, this could be it. I could die tomorrow, just like my mother did. And I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago. So you can find it here, called Your Life Is Now, because your life is now. Right? None of us are promised tomorrow. And that's the realization that I had in that moment. And I said, do I want to stay in this environment, or do I want to take a risk and create another reality for myself? And in the back of my mind, I had always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't really know what kind of business I wanted. I wasn't like being drawn to a certain type of business, but I knew that I could be really good managing myself, and then eventually managing a business or having a business or starting a business. I saw that in me, but I was really scared. I didn't see anyone else around me doing that. I wasn't in a family of entrepreneurs or really risk takers in that way. And so it was really uncharted territory for me. But in that moment, I decided that the risk was worth it, right? The reward was worth the risk, because the reward for me was going to be that I had a sense of personal freedom, right? I could work for myself. I could make my own hours. I could be creative. You know, I was dying to create something. And I saw that as an opportunity. The universe gives you signs along the way. And that was a sign. It said to me, okay, you've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and here is your chance. Here's your opportunity. And so where there was a problem, I saw the solution. And so I had a little bit of money that and that I could use for a couple of months. Actually ended up being like 6 months, where I went to massage school. And I just picked massage, honestly, because I loved getting massages. I loved helping people. I was really into health, wellness. And so I just picked it, right? So those of you who have this spirit of entrepreneurship and you listen to what I'm saying, I'm not a massage therapist now, but that was my foot in the door of entrepreneurship. You know, it was kind of a safe foot in the door for me for entrepreneurship that then turned into me being a fitness coach, a health coach, a nutrition coach. It turned into me, you know, starting my own gym. That was a risk, right? That could have bombed. You know, just becoming an entrepreneur and starting your own business itself is a huge risk, because the majority of people do fail at that for one reason or the other. And so I took that first risk to go to massage school, to leave my really good paying job, and to take a risk on myself. And was it all easy? No, it wasn't all easy. Was it a little bit of a struggle for the first year? Yeah, kind of. Was it worth it? 100% it was worth it. And what I learned from that is when I take risk, the universe pays me back in big dividends, right? So I have learned that the reward has been worth the risk. And so it became easier for me each time to take another risk, right? So it was a risk for me to start a brick and mortar business. My massage business, I was working from my home. You know, I traveled around a little bit, but to actually then a few years later, start an actual gym, find a business partner and do that together. That was a risk. That was a risk. Could have just bombed, but it didn't. That's the thing with taking risks. You take that risk and then you're on the other side of it. And it's like, holy crap, look at what I've created. Look at what I've done. What's the next level? I'm ready for my next risk. You know, I took a risk when I hired my first coach. You know, it was a big chunk of money that I put into hiring my coach, and I actually didn't have the money. I put it on my credit card, and I took the risk that what I learned from this coach, this is my business coach at the time, what I learned from this coach is going to help me to create the living and the business that I want. And then I can turn around and, excuse me, that's what happens when you go live. I can turn around and make that money in tenfold, fivefold, doublefold, whatever. And that's what happened, right? Because I took that risk. And so every day I'm looking for ways to take risks, because everything that I have wanted and that I have been satisfied with and come out on the other end with is because of the risks that I've taken. So my question to you is, how many risks are you taking in your life? When's the last time you've taken a risk? And is your life right now just kind of boring, kind of humming along, kind of mediocre, kind of below what you really want to experience? Are you living the lifestyle that you want to live? Are you having the relationships and the experiences that you want to have? If you're not, I would ask you to ask yourself, what risk do I need to take right now in my life so that I can get to the other side of this? So I can start to build that confidence in my ability to take risks and to be successful on the other end of it. So find opportunities to take risks in your life. The reward is worth the risk. And the more that you do that, the more that you will experience that. Now, who wants to experience a breakthrough in their life?